Does your life lack purpose? Have you wondered if there's anything more? Join the cult of Pinball. The Great Pyramid accepts all into the cult of the Great Order. I am Dr. Cornelius Biggostein, imperturber and acolyte of the Great Pyramid.
Join us on an ever-ending quest
to spread the joy of pinball. Have you just received your Great Pyramid creation kit? Help us summon the Great Pyramid by attaching your pyramid transmission device to arcades and pinball machines around the globe. Make sure your device is attached in appropriate spots like these, and this, and this. Remember, only you can bring upon the summoning of the Great Pyramid. Do your part.
Join us.
Does your life lack purpose? Have you wondered if there's anything more? Join the cult of Pinball. The Great Pyramid accepts all into the cult of the Great Order. I am Dr. Cornelius Biggostein, imperturber and acolyte of the Great Pyramid.
Join us on an ever-ending quest
to spread the joy of pinball. Have you just received your Great Pyramid creation kit? Help us summon the Great Pyramid by attaching your pyramid transmission device to arcades and pinball machines around the globe. Make sure your device is attached in appropriate spots like these, and this, and this. Remember, only you can bring upon the summoning of the Great Pyramid. Do your part.
Join us.
Does your life lack purpose? Have you wondered if there's anything more? Join the cult of Pinball. The Great Pyramid accepts all into the cult of the Great Order. I am Dr. Cornelius Biggostein, imperturber and acolyte of the Great Pyramid.
Join us on an ever-ending quest
to spread the joy of pinball. Have you just received your Great Pyramid creation kit? Help us summon the Great Pyramid by attaching your pyramid transmission device to arcades and pinball machines around the globe. Make sure your device is attached in appropriate spots like these, and this, and this. Remember, only you can bring upon the summoning of the Great Pyramid. Do your part.
Join us.
That's too many eyes. It's like one too many eyes. Yeah, I'd have to do a remix of it though, because I write all the music, even the video that I did for this. This is all my music, all this retro shit. Yeah.
Does your life lack purpose? Have you wondered if there's anything more? Join the cult of Pinball. The Great Pyramid accepts all into the cult of the Great Order. I am Dr. Cornelius Biggostein, imperturber and acolyte of the Great Pyramid.
Join us on an ever-ending quest
to spread the joy of pinball.
Hello! I'm out of focus. It's beard time. Here we go. Wee. What's up, everybody? It's too bright in here, is what I'm figuring out right now. This is the episode a lot of people have been waiting for. I'm looking over to my right here because I have a special guest joining me. Many of you know Greg from when we did Kong.
Yeah.
When we did Godzilla, kinda.
Yeah, there was a little bit of Kong and Godzilla together, yeah.
We weren't playing Godzilla, but you gave like the biggest lore dump on Godzilla.
Yeah.
I forget what game that was.
It was Kong. It was Kong.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did Godzilla was kind of a hybrid one with Kong.
Right, I think so.
We have one with Greg coming up for Winchester when I get my Winchester, but it's Shadow today.
It's the Shadow.
I heard you watched The Shadow.
I watched it twice. Yes.
What was the experience like watching The Shadow 2 times?
Sleepy.
Was it in a row?
No, it was just last night and then this morning.
Wow.
So broken up by a couple hours there.
Favorite Shadow scene?
Hey, good question. I mean, how can you choose? There's so many good scenes.
There's a lot.
Shadow.
I do like the tumbling ball bomb, beryllium sphere,
fun.
or whatever.
Yeah, that's fun. I think I like Tim Curry like gloating over Ian McKellen when he's like hypnoptized. That's probably the best scene, right? And then the whole way he gets threatened by Khan afterward. Yeah, I think that's it.
Tim Curry, underutilized in this film.
100%. Oh, yes. Yeah.
I mean, you have such talent in the film, and it ends up being like they just crutch on fucking Alec Baldwin and the female lead, both of which are not strong characters.
Not at all. They really wanted to give a shit about them.
Right.
I think the guy that plays the villain is great.
Yeah.
He's really fun.
I was trying to look him up. He's like a legitimate martial artist. Or like, he's a famous, like, is it Chinese or Korean?
Yeah.
Like,
Chinese,
actor? He's a Chinese actor?
Chinese, yeah.
Which they have him playing Mongolian. We'll get into the kind of like racist undertones because the film is not contemporary. Thank you, D2Doug. I just can't. It's that kind of a morning. Appreciate the follow. All praise the Great Pyramid. I've already got the bath out. Thank you, chat. You're nice and clean. Welcome to the Cult of Pinball. Here, let's change. Let's get you on camera because you have such a good shirt, and I'll sit down in the command chair.
All right.
Let's start up a game, and we'll do 2-player, and we'll just hop on and off.
Hell yeah.
So let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Yeah, the first thing when I walked in here, I was like, oh, looking at the machine, like this like makes a lot more sense now that I've seen the movie.
Yeah, they did a good job finding all the different moments in it and including them in the game. Everything from the Purbas to the Hall of Mirrors. It's good. I had to redo the audio balance because of the recent Stranchy Farts video that I did. So let me know what the game audio balance is with us. That's good. San Antonio Pinball. Yeah, this is actually an Etsy shirt. But we do. I'm getting more and more merch going on. Vengeance. Oh, that was an excellent rant.
Vengeance.
Well, hey, there we go.
It's a warm up.
Yeah,
but we're here to talk anyways. Okay, so take me back in time to when the Shadow first became like a thing.
Okay, so they joke about it in the movie. But
they do.
They do. There's a line
I'm gonna turn this down just a touch.
If you like know the history of the Shadow, I'm like, oh, that's pretty witty to like drop this in here. But there's a moment where it's when the guy he saves in the beginning of the movie, like right before he gets called upon to like, you know.
When you say saves, you mean when he's like back in time, or no? This is like after he becomes a good guy.
The scene where he saves the old Asian man on the bridge.
Okay.
So that guy, when he's like sitting at home later with his wife, I guess, and she's talking about like there was another news report about the Shadow on the radio, and then she says, "I have a feeling that somebody only created the Shadow to sell magazines." That's literally the origin of where this character came from.
Interesting.
Just to start there, the Shadow is not like somebody had an amazing idea for a character that they had to get out there, and it's like, oh, I have something to say, and I can only say it by creating a character called the Shadow. It was these guys had a detective story magazine, right? A pretty like one of the biggest in the country at the time.
This is 1930 something.
1930 on the dot.
Oh, so yeah.
But this magazine had been running for a while. One of them was popular in the country, but it was starting to kind of wane a little bit. And they also would adapt a bunch of these were print, not comics, print like prose detective stories.
Okay.
Coming out like a full novel like length twice a month.
Okay.
At this time.
That's a lot every 2 weeks.
It's crazy. Yes, it's insane. So yeah, let me get on it. I'll keep talking. So these guys were like, hey, we need to like move more magazines, and we have this radio show that we have to kind of promote the magazine, right? And they decided that what the radio show needed, the marketing hook was, they would have a character that kind of would like host the radio show, and the character they invented for that was the Shadow. And so he was a radio host, like, character. He was like the crypt keeper of his time, kind of.
Okay. I mean, that's what I do when my magazine is failing, is I come up with a superhero with an extremely large nose.
Exactly.
To, like, sell magazines.
Oh, yeah. So, and he would just, kind of like say cryptic things and talk about the darkness in the hearts of men. I think that came a little later, like that kind of.
Yeah, because he didn't have superpowers like right off the bat.
Right. Yes. His development is very similar to Superman, although he predates Superman, where like
and Batman, which
and
is
Batman,
crazy.
yes, where everything like each time he got adapted, he like acquired more powers. Like yeah. So I mean, initially he wasn't really a character. He was like radio host that would like. Make like ironic statements about whatever story you were going to hear,
So really, the Shadow's superpower is just gaining more superpowers over time.
Pretty much. Which hey, that kind of works. That was an embarrassing.
Yeah. Oops. But you're focusing on.
Yeah.
It's story time. It's not about big scores.
Yeah. Exactly. The Shadow knows, Johnny Button. That's right. The Shadow knows.
Thank you, Roller Coasters. Yeah, I did that. I modified that myself. I like that my beard still have focus. Okay, so they come up with this. They come up with a Shadow host.
Yeah.
To sell magazines.
Right. But it works because like the guy they get to like voice him has got a great voice, and it just kind of there was this whole thing of like he's the storyteller being like, this is another detective story I know because the Shadow knows everything.
Sure.
It worked. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's a cool idea.
Do you remember who's the original voice actor for it?
That one I didn't.
We'd have to Google it.
But there is one really, really famous one that we'll get to like a little bit here.
Ooh,
so
spicy.
Yeah. So it was like he was hosting this radio show for a couple of years, and it totally worked in selling these detective magazines. Where like I guess the creators and the creator like they started kind of then it was like some executive basically that named him the Shadow, but the guy that actually created him is Walter Gibson, and he's the one that kind of like came up with the characteristics, like what the Shadow looks like.
Is he responsible for the big nose thing?
I guess he is, yeah. Huh. I think the nose thing is more of a movie edition, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. But so this guy, Walter Gibson, I guess he heard some kind of story about like how people on the street, when they were buying this magazine now, they would call it the Shadow magazine. Like when they go to a newsstand, like, it's the 1930s, so you're wearing your best barrel and suspenders to go pick up a detective magazine to forget your troubles.
Is that the appropriate attire for going to get? Oh, please don't.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like no one's got any money. It's the Great Depression.
That's true. That's true. That's a good point. I had forgotten that it was, of course, the Great Depression, which is the best time for you to make your new magazine have a large nose, made up superhero to help sell copies.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, these people would go up and just be like, "Hey, I want to get a copy of that Shadow magazine. Give me the new Shadow." And then this gave Walter Gibson the idea of like, why don't I actually like write stories about this guy? And he's not just going to be a radio host anymore. Okay. So then he started inventing like lore for the character.
So he didn't create the character, but he's responsible for carrying the character's design into the future.
Yes, I think he's like more listed as like the co-creator, basically. But he's the guy that wrote like an absurd number of stories over the course of several decades.
Gotcha.
So he is like the primary creative like force behind the Shadow ultimately. Look at that.
Nice stuff into con, man.
Yeah, right?
Oh, no.
Ouch.
What the hell?
Oh, well.
Ow, fuck, the Shadow nose. Well, I wanted to catch you getting it into con really cool, but instead it was just a nice clip of it going straight down the middle.
Oh, I just
sorry about that.
When I laughed all loud there, that is very much like the Shadow, who anytime he's in the Shadow mode, he's laughing.
Dude, he cackles.
He's laughing up a storm.
He's a cackler.
Yeah.
He cacks.
Absolutely, he cacks.
Big
totally
cacks.
Huge cacks all throughout the movie.
So, did he have his scarf?
Yeah.
Okay, so the scarf has been an element. The nose is the new thing.
The nose is a new thing.
If you don't, just as a quick jump into the future here, the Shadow movie, if you haven't seen it, he has the ability to cloud men's minds,
Yes.
I believe is how they call
Right.
it. So the opening scene, he's kind of like invisible, but like kind of coming in and out of the fog that's there.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, and he's got what I would say technically is like big schnoz.
Yes, huge. And butch eyebrows, too. It's like,
Right.
Yeah.
Like a burly European man
Yes.
wrapped in a scarf.
Right. Yeah. It kind of. I realize I get what they're going for with it. You know, 'cause it's like he's disguising his face, and it's distinctive. But yeah, it looks insane to say the least. But yeah, so like, he became this print character, and it was a lot of just like, you know, he was just kind of like a detective with like a costume at this point. And he didn't really have powers, I think, in the print form.
When did they first give him like the ability to do stuff?
That's 1937.
Okay. So it took 7 years, huh?
Yes, it took a couple years. So he's a very popular print character. And within that years, you have like the rise of like comic books too, which is pretty interesting.
So that's what I'm wondering. It's like, so even though he predates superheroes, it was superheroes. God damn it. It was superhero writing that gave him the powers.
I mean, I will couch this as saying that this is all based in America because there are superhero and supervillain predecessors outside of America. But like for like American superheroes, he is like that bridge between like, you know, pulp detectives and superheroes, which is kind of like, you know, they kind of go hand in hand.
Sure.
Like that's what Batman is.
Well, you gotta find the villain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. But like he's a pulp detective, the same as the Shadow.
Right.
But instead of being in print, was created in comics. You know, it's the same thing, and it's like one of the co-creators of Batman. I don't remember if it's the guy that actually created him or the guy that claims he created Batman. There's like a dispute between that two.
Oh, interesting. We're gonna have to get Batman on the stream to go into that one.
Oh my God, there's so much crazy shit about that too. But one of the creators basically said that the very first Batman story, he literally just ripped off one of the print stories of the Shadow.
Okay, so that was going to be my next question. It's like the Shadow and Batman share a lot thematically.
It's the same basic idea of like it's a rich playboy, right, who in his off time, well, it's a little different for the Shadow, but like he presents around town as a rich playboy that at night puts on a costume to scare criminals, right, and uses like Tibetan.
He uses his money. He uses his money and his mind.
And his Tibetan like training to like scare criminals and become vengeance and all that bullshit. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of. All right, I'll just say right now, my big thing with the Shadow, I don't really like him as a character all that much.
No, he's not. Oh, man.
He's got potential to be cool, but everything I've seen of him so far, I'm like, he's not cool.
And if you see the movie, it starts with him essentially murdering an entire opium den worth of people and then going to like a Tibetan monk or something.
Well, he gets kidnapped by a Tibetan monk.
Okay, and then they like give him the opportunity to reform to become a force of good.
It is one of the most disastrous openings to a movie, I think, I've seen in some time.
It's like, so awful. It's just like, watch this white man murder all of these like Asian people.
The
it's
wig
like,
alone on Alec Baldwin and like the long fingernails and everything.
Yeah.
He's basically in like Chinese cosplay.
Right. But like low budget, bad Chinese cosplay.
Yeah.
There's the guy from who's the character from Big Trouble in Little China is in the opening sequence of that too.
Two guys.
Oh, there you go.
From Big Trouble in Little China right there. James Hong's who you're talking about, right?
Yep.
Lopan.
Yep.
From Big Trouble in Little China and like 10 million other things. Wayne's World.
Very popular actor for like the mid 90s or late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, exactly. And then he had like a big moment a couple years ago with Everything Everywhere All at Once, where he kind of started getting his flowers.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because Roller Coasters is saying that he can't remember the part, which is the first 5 minutes of the movie, and is literally Alec Baldwin telling this guy that if he doesn't give him opium, he can go fuck himself or whatever, and then he goes and murders a bunch of people.
Yeah, they shoot James Hong in the chest.
Yeah.
But it's like James Hong, and then there's a guy, one of the henchmen standing behind him is this other actor named Al Leong, who is also big in the 80s. Like, he's in Die Hard. He's in...
Who's he in Die Hard?
He's just like one of the henchmen in Die Hard.
Got it.
He's the guy that steals a candy bar in the lobby, if you remember that.
No, but awesome.
Yeah, but he's also in Big Trouble in Little China. Ao Leong is great. He's really cool. He's like in a ton of 80s action. If you needed like an Asian bad guy in the 80s,
That's the one to go to.
it was him. Yeah, I think he's also in Tango and Cash with James Hong.
Oh, wow.
But yeah,
And this is a common thing for cinema in America in the like mid 80s to 90s, where if you needed a certain like ethnic actor,
Yeah.
there were people that basically fit each kind of trope,
Yes.
and that was who you used in
exactly.
your film.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah, James
I
Hong
fucked
has
that
played
boss up.
every Asian ethnicity there is. You know, like he's been Chinese, he's been Japanese, he's been Korean, he's been everything, because it's like you just need a guy that looks like he's from. I'm using this because it's what they say a lot in the old Shadow stuff, from the Orient, you know.
Right.
And so like, yeah, you get James Hong for that.
And then you get, and then in the movie, everybody, it's the Mongol, because Khan
Yeah.
is, Mongolian, right?
Yeah.
Like, they tried to pick somebody that, like, they were like, well, everybody knows who Genghis Khan is, right?
Yes.
So that'll be our bad guy.
Yeah, so he is a villain in the stories, but I mean, he comes from a time where what the Shadow has proven to me is that we've just always been terrified of Asia, like just as a country. I think I talked a little bit about this with James Bond, where there's a lot of like Orientalist stuff with that too, right? I mean, he becomes a Japanese famous. We talked about that.
Which movie? I gotta go look at the James Bond's board for it. Yeah, I mean, his sidekicks, like, they have so much Asian culture influence in those
Yes.
films, but in general, it's always the bad guys.
Right.
And here you are with Shadow, where it's just like, here it is again, like early 90s, let's make Asia the bad guys.
So yeah, this is important to get to for like the backstory to like the Shadow 2, I think, and a lot of the anti-Asian stuff, which is all over the character, like not even in the movie, but like as part of my research for this, I went to go rent the movie at Vidia. It's a great independent theater out here and video store, and I found The Shadow on DVD, and I'm going to go check it out. And they're like, oh, hey, we also just like, they just kind of offhandedly, the clerk is like, we also have the film serial of The Shadow.
Wait, what?
So the film serial. So it's like, that's like the progress of the characters. Like he's, radio host, then he's a print character, then he becomes a comic, becomes the radio drama version.
Sure.
Where they're like, actually have a guy playing the character of the Shadow now, not just a host. And they're reenacting the stories, but on the radio.
Okay, right. We're very common in that time
Yes,
period. There was
absolutely.
There was an H.P. Lovecraft one that was like really popular.
yeah,
like, I mean,
huge.
you think podcasts and like
Yes.
murder mystery podcasts are popular now. I mean,
Yeah.
this was like what radio was for decades, or at least a
that's
decade.
where Superman really took off too, was the radio drama version of Superman. It's like, obviously the comic was big,
Yeah.
but what really cemented like Superman into public consciousness is the radio show. And that's where he got a lot of his powers too. And it's the same thing with The Shadow. And the funny thing is, it's like I kind of said, he's not created because it's like somebody had a passion and wanted to create this character.
He was done to sell stuff.
Yes, he's created as a marketing gimmick, and his powers were more out of convenience than anything else. Of like, how do we kind of wrap this story up in a fast way?
Okay.
Well, we need to get Shadow from place A to place B. Let's say he like clouds somebody's mind and like teleports.
So
or whatever.
he's got cop-out powers.
Yes.
Like
But
basically like
Yeah.
the MacGuffin of
Right.
superpowers.
But it was the same thing with Superman, where he got all these powers from the radio show, because it's like, well, how's Superman going to get there in time? Well, he's just going to fly.
Right, but
like,
fast.
And he didn't-
Really fast.
Yes, and he didn't fly before the radio show. He could jump high, but it was like, I think kryptonite was invented for the radio show too, because it's like, well, we need a fast way to introduce drama into the episode, so we use kryptonite. And it was the same thing with The Shadow, where it's born out of like necessity and convenience. But I also say too, the famous guy that played The Shadow in 1937, when they started the radio drama, was Orson Welles.
No way.
Yeah, he was 22 years old.
Green penis?
That's right.
The French?
Yes.
I did hear that, Nuclear Black. By the way, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to ignore chat. Thank you, everybody, for hopping on. I see your messages. We are in the middle of, it's lore dump time, by the way. The magic voice in your head you hear is Greg. Say hi, Greg.
Not The Shadow. Hey, yeah,
No.
hello.
Yeah, you're not the Shadow, because you're not, an idiot white guy that is hating on Asian culture. So on that note, though, we definitely do not share any of the perspectives of this. This is a historical, you can't really talk about the 30s and 40s, just like our Bond stream, without touching on some of the historical racism that existed in pop culture.
And it all feeds into Bond. So it's why it's kind of nice to be like doing this after Bond, because it's a lot of the same origins. Like, I'd even say if you really go back to, again, the inspiration for this really is Sherlock Holmes. Like, that's kind of the origin of a lot of stuff. And like even
Arthur
more,
Conan Doyle, responsible for a lot of the origins of so many
well, then like
archetype characters.
Yeah, and all the other thing people don't realize too, he's also like responsible for the idea of like a lot of dinosaur stuff in popular culture.
Oh, really? Like, I was gonna say Lost Words or 50,000 Leagues Under the Sea or 30,000, whatever. Like,
that was Jules Verne.
Right.
But,
there was like a Hollow Earth thing in that too, or something.
Yeah, Journey to the Center of the Earth.
That's the one.
Which has the Hollow Earth stuff. Yeah.
So in the Christian Bale Batmans, when he goes back to be, he goes to train and some, Asian mountaintop or whatever. Was that added for that?
No, that was
version of Batman,
that's part
canon?
of Batman's lore.
So his canon is the same as the Shadow.
It is. It's exactly the same.
Madness.
But I think why Batman is off the order than the Shadow, I would say, or has persisted longer because the Shadow was popular in his time, right? But why Batman persisted, I think, is because they smartly would like update the character as the years went on, and he was a little more malleable. They introduced a wider cast. He's got the more compelling villains for sure, that aren't just
wider
Asian
or
people.
Wider cast?
Wider.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we are talking about the Shadow 90s.
Yeah.
Bloodgrank said Ace Ventura, also written by the famous Jules Verne.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Classic Jules Verne character, Ace Ventura.
Classic.
Yeah.
Do not go. I watched The Mask the other day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't hold up?
It doesn't not hold up. It just, it feels like somebody was just like, we could reskin Ace Ventura and just cash in.
I think that was the same year as The Shadow, too, actually. And it's part of that same wave of like comic book adaptation. I say comic book, even though The Shadow was huge. He became a comic character, but he was not primarily a comic character.
But I mean, you had a lot. I mean, I guess, God, what's not Seth MacFarlane, but, oh my God, help me out here. It's not Blade, but there was plenty of early superhero films in the late 90s and early 2000s where they tried
Todd McFarlane.
Spawn. Spawn, that's what I'm thinking of. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So this formula of trying to make like successful superhero films, like this predates the Marvel stuff by decades.
Oh,
easily.
Totally. Yeah.
Easily.
I mean, and I'll get to like that era, I guess, where how we get to the movie of The Shadow, the Alec Baldwin movie. But yeah, so he becomes mostly known for the radio drama version of the character. That's where you can cloud minds, and that, like I said, it's all out of convenience for storytelling purposes. At the same time, though, I think it's the same year is when he becomes a comic book character, and the comic book character uses a lot of the powers and stuff from the radio drama.
Which they obviously created the comic book character to continue to cash in on the success of the radio drama, I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
Was this like a household thing, or?
Oh yeah, it's mostly Walter Gibson. It's mostly that guy. Although I'm
sorry, I mean was The Shadow like extremely popular?
Oh yeah, the radio drama especially. That's where he was super famous for that, and it ran for something like 17 years or something.
Wow. Okay.
Like, it's a good chunk of time. It's like all through the 40s mostly. I think it goes off the air into 50s.
Huh.
Yeah. And then like after that, the writer like Walter Gibson, he came back like 20 years after it went off the air and wrote some more books. And then, which I think were popular in their own time, and then like, this is kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but they were trying to make a Shadow movie for a couple years before they actually did.
Okay.
Like it was like, there was still some interest among people of like, well, we can make a Shadow film and think it'll do okay, because
this is in like the late 80s then?
Yeah, late 80s is when they kind of started trying to do it.
When did Shadow came out? 94, 93?
Yeah.
Okay.
94. And they were trying to do it for a few years. I mean, and it was I'll go into more, but it's the 89 Tim Burton Batman that really like makes them be like, okay, let's get serious about making a Shadow movie now.
But at this point, it's hilarious that Batman, which was kind of created because of the Shadow, is now the one that gets the film first.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, it's like, I talked about this a little bit with the James Bond stuff, but Batman, it started to take other popular things from pop culture and like mold them into Batman. So like they took a lot of the tone of James Bond, right, for Batman, and like really sort of like they saw that was what that's what people liked at that time. So they incorporated into the character, and he lived on.
Do you think that Batman needed a bigger nose?
Yes, absolutely.
I think so too. I think so too. I think his nose is maybe like, if you had to give a percentage of how much more nose.
I think it needs to be like 30% longer.
Oh, really?
Also, it needs to be upturned like a bat nose. You know what I mean? It needs to be like
like a fruit bat, like a giant fruit bat,
like a flying fox.
I think 30% low. I think it should be like 200 to 300% larger. Yes, Miss Diggle, what do they say about somebody with a big nose? I would like you to. Can you share
all the stereotypes about big noses?
Yeah. Is that a stereotype? When has anybody heard anybody say, "Man, you know what they say about somebody with a big nose"?
There's certain ethnic groups that they.
Oh, really? I'm unaware.
Yeah.
Izzy Monkey, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Big Nose stream, where we talk about the shadow.
It means big boogers.
Yes, I'm gonna call you Doug. That number's fucking with me. Izzy Monkey, all praise the Great Pyramid, the god of pinball. The Great Pyramid requires all new followers in the cult of pinball to be clean. Thankfully, chat's got you covered, and Tub Guy scrubbing you down. Tub Guy, the acolyte and advocate of self-care of the Great Pyramid, has just polished you. Him and his son. God, I really hope that's his son. They cleaned you. You're good now. Okay, welcome. All right, I got an extra ball. We were talking about how his nose needs to be at least 30% bigger.
Yeah, they really should go into like the fruit bat imagery more, I think, Yeah.
It's so disturbing. I don't really have a response to it.
We got Kong playing.
Oh yeah, when you get a good bath, it's important that you dry off. That award exists specifically because of you being on the channel.
That's right.
If you enjoy Kong Blow, you have Greg to thank.
That's right.
Also, this was a cool little bounce in for
my biggest contribution.
I wouldn't say biggest. I would say that you've contributed a lot. This is the shittiest.
Furba?
This is the shittiest video mode in pinball. I'm saying it. I'm saying it right now.
The Furba is just a shitty aspect of the movie, so it only tracks.
Was that in the story? I know that I'm derailing your timeline.
So. Yeah, I think that was for the movie, as far as I can tell. Oh yeah, I was saying I tried watching some of the film serial as research. So I got a Blu-ray that had all 4 hours of the film serial.
So, what is a film serial? I know that you kind of touched base on it.
Yeah, it's a predecessor to TV.
Okay.
In the way, so they would produce these. I think some of them range from like 15 minutes to like 30 minutes or so, but a 30-minute short like story basically that they would play before a feature film.
Okay.
So when you buy a ticket to go see a movie these days, you get there early because there's cartoons.
And they made them for the Shadow? What year did those air?
1940s when they started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is like
of
the time.
And they were called film serials because you only watched them in the theater. And it was a way to get people to come back to the movies because it's like, well, if you want to see the next episode of The Shadow and find out what happens, you come see it and maybe you'll get lucky and see the next episode. I think they would advertise
how were they compared to the Shadow movie?
Oh, well, I ended up completely failing in watching them because oh my God, that was insane.
Wow, that was brutal.
Yeah,
that was difficult for me to watch.
I put the first episode on.
Okay.
And I made it about 5 minutes in, and then I completely just fell asleep on the couch. Part of it was I just started it really late. But another part of it is that it's very old and it's just slow.
Is the audio sync? They must have,
yeah.
The film transfer must not be.
It was rough and also hard to make out the audio.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
That definitely hurt in terms of trying to stay tuned into it.
Sure.
So the next day, I woke up and I was like, all right, I'm going to actually watch at least one episode. And I would say I watched 15 minutes of the first 30-minute episode, and then I had to turn it off because I had to go do something else. But
was it intolerable?
No, but in that 15 minutes, literally the first time you see the Shadow's face, it opens with him stopping two thugs from breaking into a building, right?
Classic.
They get into a fist fight with the cop, and then the Shadow does his laughing thing and appears.
Okay.
And he beats them up. And then they cut to like a courtroom where the two guys are on trial and they're trying to convince them to rat on their boss, who's called Black Tiger. He's like this new crime boss in town. And the guy is like not testifying. He's like, you can't make me talk. It's a very classic late 30s
film noir gangster intro.
Yes. A goon, if you will.
Can I interrupt you? Yeah. Oh, I just wanted people to hear did you hear the Callistas in that?
I did.
I feel like I was like writing Yoshi and Mario. You know what I mean? Like, this didn't predate, but I wonder if that was an inspiration. Sorry, anyways.
I will say that the music in the movie is not awful. It's Jerry Goldsmith. He's a great composer.
I know Jerry Goldsmith for sure from the Star Trek films, among other...
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes,
It's like an okay score. But, so the guy is not testifying. The Shadow does, he does his laughing thing and then, breaks into the courtroom to, convince this guy to testify and, I kind of like that part because it's even the judge is like, hey, arrest this guy, but he's, doing the right thing even if the law is not on board with it, kind of a thing. But he ends up being chased by the cops out of the courtroom.
I mean, that makes sense. You shouldn't be there if you're not invited. I don't care if you're the Shadow. I don't care how big your nose is. That doesn't give you the right to just go into a courtroom.
Well, he is wearing a disguise in the serial, but it's, again, this is literally the episode 1. The first time you see his face, he's running from the cops. Goes down a stairwell and around a corner, takes off his clothes to get back into his civilian outfit to throw them off the scent, basically. Sure. But he's in character as an old Chinese man, complete with makeup and an accent and everything. And so the cops
after he
was wearing it underneath the Shadow stuff.
That's the next level, subterfuge.
Yep.
Right?
Yes. It's crazy.
Dang.
So then the cops see this old Chinese man, or what they think is, and they're like, which way did he go? And he's like, in a bad accent that I'm not doing, he says that way, in a much more comedic way than I just did. Yeah. Also, there's a nice little ramp for you and a ramp combo.
Awesome.
And can we do that?
So many wrong ways.
Yeah. So then he goes back to his crime lab, and he's got a couple of assistants with him. One of them is an actual Asian actor, which surprised me that they cast an actual Asian person in this thing.
Mean, what year is this now?
This is 1940.
Okay. Well, so Twilight Zone, extremely responsible for God. What the hell is the name of the host? I can't.
Rod Serling.
Rod Serling is. Talked on record about how he cast minorities to help give them legitimate acting roles.
Yeah.
He's such a progressive, brilliant. Not only did he, showcase these sci-fi writers that were not getting, any kind of media attention, but he also was making a platform for all sorts of actors to get real roles instead of just being the Asian trope or something. So, but this is just before that.
Right. This is shortly before that. So then, they established that not only does the Shadow, this is kind of an aspect of his character where it's very much in the kind of, Spider-Man, Batman thing where the police don't trust him, right? He's got this kind of, antagonistic relationship with them. And the Shadow goes...
Which is carried over to Batman as well.
Yeah, and he goes a step even further with the Shadow, and it's as this Chinese guy, he is also, getting a foothold in the underground criminal world himself.
Ooh,
so he's playing
spicy.
A bunch of different sides, right? He's the rich playboy influencing stuff that way, and he's also the Shadow beating up the criminals and stopping the crime rings. But then he's also throwing everybody off the scent by being this Chinese criminal.
Right.
It's kind of complex, but it kind of works in terms of he's crafty and he's cunning and he's very smart.
Right. They're trying to show that he's a multi-talented subterfuge individual on top of that.
Yeah.
What's up, Yoda? Fat man. That's who we're talking. That's right.
So I pieced out that after the next scene, which was pretty cool. And it's kind of funny because it's kind of, more of the radio dramas kind of thing. But they introduced the villain, Black Tiger, who appears to his like henchmen as like an invisible beam of light that enters the room, and then like has like a weird like it talks through a tiger head on the like a wooden tiger head on the desk.
What? That sounds freaking awesome.
Yes.
Damn it.
And you kind of see a weird like shadowy thing in the next room, like kind of like turn into the light beam to come in. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Wait, so this is in the serial?
That's the serial.
And they had some like bad optical effects or whatever for this?
It was like decent optical. It was okay for the time. For the time, I'm like, that's all right. Yeah, but I didn't even finish this one episode. And I already experienced so much racism in it. The other thing I did is on YouTube, you can listen to some of the radio dramas. Like, they don't have all of them. I think not all of them were preserved, unfortunately. But there's like 10 hours of them on YouTube or something.
You gotta send me the link so I can put that in the description when I make this a VOD.
Well, you gotta also warn people, though, of outdated stereotypes in the radio drama. So, you know. Ooh! Like, there was one where...
No.
Nope. Damn. The second one I listened to, I only listened to 2 of them. The second one I listened to did have, like, a guy playing, like, was probably, I think, supposed to be, based on how he was talking and the language he was using, an African-American farmhand.
Oh, no.
Who was portrayed as, like, cowardly and not very smart.
Oh, my God.
I don't think it was an actual African-American person doing the voice.
Wow, that's, like, somehow that's even worse of an already bad thing.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
But yeah, I mean, those were just, like, really simple, quick, you know, barely even, like, mysteries, really, honestly, the 2 I listened to, just, like, you know, it's just, like, they have some features of, like, a hard-boiled crime story in them a little bit, you know. Like,
I get why you didn't want to waste too much time on this feature.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Honestly, the best thing I experienced of The Shadow, like, based on the things that I saw, was just that one scene with the Black Tiger guy, like, entering the room as a beam of light. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's cool.
It is neat that they were exploring using visual effects, too, to try to, like, portray his, like, abilities.
Yeah, totally.
Ah, fuck off. Come on. I can't beat Khan. He's listening to us. He knows.
He knows we're talking shit.
Yeah, fuck you, Khan.
I got nothing but compliments about the actor who plays him, though. Like, I thought he was great, so.
Oh, my God. Please go up there.
Kind of like, I think he's the best performance. Oh, it would be Tim Curry if there was more in him.
He hands down is like, Khan carries the film.
100%.
And he's in it a lot.
He is. He gets a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
And I like when he wears a business suit and he, like, likes the Shadow's tie, so he goes out and buys a tie. I like that detail.
You know who else is in the film a lot? Alec Baldwin.
Oh,
and
yeah.
do you know who else is not so great in the film? It's also Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
By the way.
It's crazy. Like, there's so many times when he's like in his clean cut, you know, look, where I'm like, you started this movie as like a fake Asian warlord.
Yeah.
And now you're like a rich New York playboy. And it's like, I don't believe that that's the same guy. Like, that you have that backstory. Also, like, why were you an Asian warlord and how did you get there?
Yeah.
Like,
there's no explanation of that at all.
Yeah.
Yet he is like feared, right. and then nobody knows him, even though he's like this like opium drug lord that is like feared. Nobody knows who he is in the States.
Right. Yes. They make like his uncle, the commissioner, makes like a vague reference to like, you were gone for 7 years.
Man,
and like,
I pounded that so hard we lost the flasher.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we got to fix that. They're made of real glass. They aren't those LEDs.
Yeah, the film serial, the radio drama with Orson Welles, that is where they also like establish his connection to Asia in terms of like he traveled to Asia and learned a bunch of stuff there. They also imply that it's not really magic in the radio drama; it's like science of some sort, but they don't obviously get into details.
Well, it's almost like hypnosis, right?
That's mostly what it seems to be. What his power is. He does later on in like the print, like I think stories get like psychic abilities and stuff like that.
Okay.
You know? But yeah, also the character of what's her name? Something Lane. Margot Lane.
Margot.
She's also,
by the way, when it says Margot, you have to say Polo afterwards.
Okay, gotcha.
It's just that's required.
You got it. But yeah, she's also been there from the beginning, you know, in terms of being a character. She, as far as I know, was not psychic in anything else. That's a weird detail the movie added. Very bizarre part of that film, that she just happens to be psychic. She's fascinating to watch.
Me trying to get this stupid fucking
Yeah.
So it's the same mechanism as like the wedge bulbs that go in like every underplay field from like the late 90s.
Right.
But it's on a floating fucking thing. And I'm trying to do it without taking the play field out, which is super. Oh, I think we're good. Yeah, that's good enough for now. All right. Tech stream done.
Hell yeah.
Last thing I need is broken glass on the playfield, which I did have on my Indiana Jones, which fucking sucked. Okay, sorry. Anyways, so we're in, where are we timeline right now?
This is like the film serial, the 40s, the radio dramas going on.
Okay.
And yeah, like I said, it carries on through the 40s as the radio drama. That's primarily where he's popular. But they do have a comic book series that is like intermittent. He's never as popular in the comics, even though like when I started this, I assumed he was a comic book character first, right? But no, he comes before all that. So like, he really does lay the groundwork though. Again, in America, for like the costume Avenger type of superhero. You know, like your Batman primarily. Obviously, it's like, you know, he is he's just ripping off the Shadow. I did want to say a little bit though. Just I find this shit really interesting, and hopefully other people do too.
I find all of this interesting. By the way, Greg does all this research unpaid for the love of being on here.
Love of the game. That's
so
right.
Please go check out Greg's podcast, The Weekly Massacre, on Spotify, all sorts of other platforms. If you enjoy hearing Greg talk about stuff, the podcast is all about horror films.
That's right.
And every month is a different theme. So just to put that out there, go support Greg.
Oh yeah. And, well, okay, cool. If I get, there's an episode where I kind of get into a lot of pulp stuff like this because we talked about a Dr. Mabuse film, and that's kind of where I'm going next of like, this is kind of going backwards a little bit, but I think this is just cool. I like that. That's great.
Good ramp up.
Hey, look at that. Okay, maybe I'll quiet down for half a second, see if I can make some shots here.
It's jackpot time.
That's right.
Something that's a feature of the mid-90s in general for these games is if you hit saucers, it increases the multiplier for your jackpot shot.
Wow.
Which pales in comparison to getting to like the final wizard mode and cashing in $1 billion. Yeah, Nuclear Blast got you medium flowing.
The battlefield.
Izzy Monkey says he loves that Suri McKellen played Margot Wayne's father. Yes, another totally underutilized actor. Can you get it? Oh,
hell yeah. Why is it? I guess I know why it's the taxi, but also why is the taxi as that thing? That's weird.
Well, so the taxi's an after mod. I put it on there to kind of like block your vision of the LED strip that I put on there, just because. As Rollercoasters pointed out, it's a mod that I came up with and makes the entire upper playfield actually visible.
Right.
Normally it's pure black up there, except for the inserts.
Who knows?
Yeah, Rollercoaster said it looks like the Fifth Element taxi. It totally does.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't know, not Brad Pitt, what the hell is his name?
Al Baldwin?
No.
Bruce Willis.
Thank you, yeah. Bruce Willis is not in the shadow.
The Furba. The Furba.
Yeah, it's an Easter egg right here. Why is RoboCop on a beach? Dustin, that's an excellent question. Because RoboCop digs getting the tan.
That's right. Yeah, he can't, go out for some R&R now and then and, scope out the bikini babes.
Yeah.
Like,
RoboCop loves bikinis.
Yeah.
Just in general, like, he wears them.
Okay. Oh yeah, where I was going, where
yes,
like
you were bringing us to a cult connection.
That's right. So we talked about a Dr. Mabuse movie on the podcast, 1,000 Eyes of Dr. Mabuse, and he fits into the shadow because I also brought this up a little bit on the James Bond episode, but the 1910s in Europe, you really saw a lot of like pulp super villains mostly. So, like I said, you got like Dr. Moriarty from Sherlock, right? And that kind of like archetype of like the criminal mastermind really took off in like European popular culture. And you have all sorts of characters that would influence the American characters later. So, what I was reading, there's a French character called Judex, who it's like, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but it's literally just like Judex.
Okay. It's a cool name.
Yes, and he seems to be like a potential inspiration for the character the Shadow, where he was this mysterious sort of like do-gooder that had these crazy abilities, seemed to be able to kind of like, be anywhere, like see everything, kind of omniscient, and it was not really explained, which like is kind of the same deal with the Shadow. He didn't really have an identity for part of it too. It's like
Sure.
the Lamont Cranston stuff is in the radio drama, but in the print, he was not actually Lamont Cranston, and that's very similar to like a lot of these European things of like nobody really knows who these guys are.
Right.
You know? They keep them mysterious, but that Judex guy is a heroic version of a very famous like French villainous character in a lot of stories. This guy that I've kind of gotten obsessed with a little bit over the past couple of years because like his influence is crazy long. But a character named Fantomas,
Okay.
who was like a French like super thief, like, you know, in a bunch of like.
What is it with the French and thieves? Isn't Lupin?
Lupin,
like...
he kind of is. It comes from a similar sort of place as Lupin. Yeah, Lupin. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, Fantomas was a super criminal that seemed to have semi-mystical powers in terms of like, again, could be anywhere, could break into any place. People seem to kind of like have no memory of him if they saw him.
This sounds very shadowy.
It's very shadowy. And like, if somebody were to try to describe Fantomas, they would never give the same description to us. So there's just something really interesting and weird about him.
So they wouldn't say huge nose?
No.
Like if they did a sketch, they wouldn't
Right.
be like big nose?
Yeah. But he was like also like, he's a villain. He would like assassinate people, he would steal things, he would do all sorts of crazy villainous shit. And Fantomas kind of like led to a lot of other sort of imitators. Around the same time, you got in Germany, they invent Dr. Mabuse, who is like a sort of like parody of these guys almost. But he's like another like super mastermind criminal that has a couple movies based off of him. And like I think stories. Yeah, he does. Fantomas has a lot of. There's also film serials of him. The Italians made a couple of like Fantomas movies, but they call him Diabolique.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. So Fantomas rocks. Like he is a really cool character, and his like influence on not just like super villains but superheroes too, like the Shadow and stuff, is like one of those things that I feel like in America people don't ever really talk about Fantomas, but he's big. Like he's weirdly influenced a shitload of American popular culture, you know, by proxy, kind of. But he's cool. I love Fantomas. There's even an X-Men character that's like almost a direct like adaptation of him named Phantom X that I really like from some X-Men comics. But anyway. But the Asia stuff, I'm getting there too. So these like pulp supervillains, one of the biggest of them and one of the most like popular was created by this British writer named Sax Rohmer, right? Sax Rohmer was a writer, and he was into kind of like the occult and mystic stuff. And the story goes that he was using he was using a Ouija board and asked the Ouija board, how am I going to make my fortune? And according to him, the Ouija board then guided him to spell out Chinaman.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I gotta be honest, not very specific.
Yeah.
What could that mean?
Well, to him, it meant, okay, I'm going to create a pulp supervillain named Fu Manchu.
Wow, but Chinaman's not a job. Like,
Yeah, right. Yeah, look, he did his best with the information he had from the spirits. Okay.
Well, I feel like the spirits are being like
A little insensitive, yeah. A little non-specific.
That's the issue, man. Like, you gotta clarify.
But yeah, so he creates Fu Manchu, and he writes several Fu Manchu stories that really do have the cadence of like a James Bond or like a Batman story where it's, you know, your heroes are trying to stop some world domination plan from a supervillain that has this crazy criminal empire, and like, you know, he's like evil and dastardly and just for the sake of evil stuff. like all of like so much of that is Fu Manchu, and it's of course all based on how terrified the British are of the devious Chinese people that are probably just like trying to, you know, resist against the occupying British in China and stuff like that. Like
kind of a bum move to be saying someone
Yeah.
is like a bad person when you're the one doing the invasion.
Yes.
So did you know that I went to art school?
yes.
So I did like a little character rendition, like if I had seen the shadow.
Okay.
Like, and I wanted to report that to the
Right.
police. Like, what are you laughing at?
Nothing.
Boring me.
The accuracy of
Why
this.
are you laughing? I just, you know, it's just,
That's what I see when I watch the movie.
yeah. I mean, like, that's his scarf right there,
Okay.
right? And if it says the shadow,
Right.
just in, you know, if you're like confused, if
Yeah.
you don't know, right? But like, you can see his nose.
It kind
and
of slipped down on his chin because like he had to smile.
yeah, that's them smiling. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's one of his nostrils. The other one's on the other side because his nose is so big.
Right.
But you know,
It
yeah.
looks like Brian Griffin. A little bit.
This was way before Brian Griffin, though. This was
That's
like in
true.
the 1930s. So
It's-
you know,
he could have influenced Brian Griffin.
maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you already mentioned Seth MacFarlane. I mean, he could be a fan of the Shadow.
That's true. I feel like if anybody was a fan of the Shadow, it's probably
is.
Seth
He
MacFarlane.
probably is, yeah.
Dirty Pool merch right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. When I get the new sweatshirts in finally, I'll slip this into somebody's package.
Well, you got to get it printed out as like a new backglass for this.
I still have to get your amazing
Godzilla,
drawing
yeah,
of
the
Godzilla
drawing.
printed
Yeah.
out for my Godzilla.
That's right.
Yeah, my the volume in here is in French or something because of a bug error that is in the most recent ROM that I have. That's what Nuclear Black's talking about. Okay.
Great.
Anyways, I digress. I realize
Yeah.
that we're all over the place here.
Oh, it's all over. Yes. Talking about Fu Manchu.
Fu Manchu, yes.
So Saxon makes Fu Manchu. He's very popular. He kind of establishes a lot of the cadence of how these sort of pulp adventure stories go. And he lays the groundwork for 10 million imitations, you know, where you have your devious Asian criminal, you know, as your supervillain. So like,
So Shadow's responsible for making.
well, this is before Shadow.
Sorry, yes,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But the Shadow, he takes a lot of that, and like Khan in the movie and in the radio dramas is basically Fu Manchu. Like he's kind of essentially the same. This whole idea too, they even kind of imply in the movie that he's like maybe like very old, right?
Because he's in like a super
in a
coffin or
sarcophagus.
something. That's what
But it's
the
his
Khan icons are when you
ancestors.
hit Khan multi-ball.
Right. Yeah, Fu Manchu is like a devious scientist and magician and all this stuff, right? But like, even though he's, you know, only kind of vaguely Asian, but Ra's al Ghul from Batman is just Fu Manchu. Like, you know, same basic thing. He has this like secret organization that he runs that like is trying to take over the world, all this stuff. Even the fact that like Batman is like a romantic thing with Ra's al Ghul's daughter is very much like in Fu Manchu. Fu Manchu has a daughter that betrays him and like runs off with one of the heroes. So anyway, I bring up Fu Manchu because just like he is so weirdly integral to a lot of these. Oh, I got an extra ball at least. He's weirdly integral to a lot of these pulp heroes and stories that, like I said, bleed their way into like James Bond and stuff like that. The very first issue of the detective magazine where the Shadow eventually like, you know, made his print debut, I think it was just called like Detective Fiction or something like that. The very first issue was a Fu Manchu story.
Oh, interesting.
And you can go up and on the internet and look up the first issue, and it is the most heinously racist drawing of a Chinese guy you've ever seen on the front cover. So like that's how that magazine started. And then, the Mandarin from Marvel, yes, exactly. He is just Fu Manchu with alien dragon rings. It's bizarre.
Wow. These are clearly characters from, again, the same era.
Yes. Well, it's funny because like the Mandarin is from the 60s. So, like this persisted all the way till then.
You are boring.
So not only
Wow, you are killing me. This
yeah,
is like,
I had a
this
pretty
is
good
brutal.
Yeah, this is not bad. I had that moment where I actually focused up and I like. You know,
I think we have a good
equals evil. Yes.
according to big movie
Yeah.
post production or whatever.
Right.
I think we got a good replay of one of your moments here. said cool replay. Maybe I exaggerated a little bit. But that was a good save there.
Yeah,
that was cool.
not bad.
That was cool. Okay, so Fu Manchu equal evil.
Yes, Fu Manchu equal evil. That's right. Why did I bring him up? Oh, yeah. No, why did I? Where is that going? Oh, yeah. So, yes, the very first issue of this detective magazine features Fu Manchu. Batman, obviously, from DC. DC stands for Detective Comics. They were writing that same wave of the popularity of detective magazines, just in comic form. Batman is not in the very first issue of Detective Comics. He comes a little bit into its existence. But the very first issue of Detective Comics, also a Fu Manchu story. If you look it up, also a heinously racist depiction.
The first comic from DC Comics?
Yes. When
Fu
it was
Manchu.
called Detective Comics, yes.
Interesting. I thought DC was Dick Cock.
Yeah, I mean, that's they've changed it since then. They've updated it. They stay modern, like I said.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Ads coming in 2 minutes. Maybe I'll just...
Nah, that's okay. Nobody has ads here. Everyone's a cool ass supporter, man. They don't get ads. Besides, they're set to the minimum.
All right. I've done my Fu Manchu spiel. I talked about Phantomos. Shadow kind of goes quiet for a long time. After the radio drama, like I said, the really only kind of thing of note is that, like, he's in some comics occasionally. DC does get the license for him.
Oh, interesting.
And
so he's technically a DC comic.
He became a DC character. He's not anymore. I think he's now more like public domain.
How do you dump a character from...
I think they just, like, the copyright on him kind of, like, expired a little bit. It's just kind of this thing where he's just old enough, and the creators didn't have any kind of, like, real grasp of the rights of the character. So he kind of just became, like, a thing people can do.
So you're saying, like, the Shadow and Mickey Mouse could be going off on adventures right now?
Yes, they can. Yeah.
Dope.
He could go and, like, terrorize Winnie the Pooh in the 100-Acre Wood. Yeah.
Can you imagine the super Shadow, Mickey Mouse, and Christopher Robin go, like... Yeah, cool.
Yeah, he shows up because Pooh stole the honey, and he has to,
Oh, Pat the Weirdo's got a good question. Was there a Fu Manchu character in Dick Tracy? There must be. It was like
probably
film noir, 60s.
I mean, Dick Tracy factors into, like, a lot of the same stuff. I mean, he's a newspaper print character, but, like, same kind of idea of hard-boiled sort of, like, detective fiction.
Right? Yeah.
But a more cartoony version of it, right? Like, also Dick Tracy was printed in black and white first, and the yellow colors of him came later. So kind of a weird thing where as he also gets translated, the colors of him, the different aspects of the character come out. But yeah, like, right. I think Steamboat Willie and the Shadow go on a Pooh murder spree. That's right. Let's get them all in there. I don't remember. I think Dick Tracy came after the Shadow as well, but a lot of the same sort of deal with, like, the hat and the cloak and stuff, right? Well, it's more a trench coat for Dick Tracy, but yeah.
Right.
I also know...
I noticed the lock is acting up. This version of the mod has some bugs.
Ooh, okay.
So we got to restart it in order for it to figure it out.
The NES game Deja Vu. Yeah, I haven't thought about that game in a long time. That's right. But it was like kind of like a hard-boiled detective thing.
Interesting.
An NES game, yeah.
Not a genre that you would expect for the NES to be like, really. Yeah. There were some pretty interesting games that came out for the NES.
It's all very experimental.
Sure.
Because they're still figuring out
all the Taito games.
Yeah,
the like extreme don't really have the license for them. Yeah. Okay, so Shadow disappears. Yeah. It's gone for a decade?
A couple decades. I think it's like 20 years or so between the last of the radio dramas and then the guy Walter Gibson writing new Shadow books.
Interesting.
And he just decides at that point too, Shadow's also psychic now. So, like, he's still inventing new stuff for it. And I think those become kind of popular. I do know that I guess, like, in the 70s and 80s, they start rerunning the radio drama.
Oh, interesting.
Like, a little, like, every now and then. And then Batman, like I said, he becomes a DC character. So Batman crosses over with the Shadow several times. And even, like, in the comic, they established that Bruce Wayne was, like, influenced by the Shadow.
Okay, so then it's acknowledged.
Yeah, they acknowledge it. Like, they at that point, it had been, like, 40 years since Batman ripped them off. So it's like, we can be, like, open about it and say, yeah, he was inspired by, quote unquote inspired by. But it's kind of just theft, really. Honestly.
It is absolutely theft. Yeah. This is big air quotes.
Yeah. So one of these people, though, that is a big fan of the Shadow from the time, who listened to the reruns of the radio drama, was Sam Raimi, you know.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, director of The Evil Dead. And, the podcast is The Weekly Podcast Massacre.
There you go. I'll post a link for it, or if there's a mod in here that can. Double Flip, by the way, thank you for posting those Shadow magazine covers. I'll pull it up and put it on over the Shadow.
Yeah, a lot of great art for him. I mean, it's like he's got I'm kind of split on his design. I think he can look cool.
Who, the Shadow?
The Shadow, yeah.
I like the
how you
feel about
idea
noses.
for him. Yeah.
You are boring.
Oh wow! Wow, that is absolutely.
Ooh, there you go.
Racist.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a mix between Dracula and like an Asian person.
Dracula apparently a partial influence in The Shadow as well. I think more.
Oh my God! What is this?
That's the detective cop. There you go.
Oh my God!
Oh no!
That's horrible.
Yeah. But yeah, it's why every time I go to stalk Zack Snyder, I demand he puts Fu Manchu in the next Justice League. You know, just got to stay true to the origins of the character.
For sure. If he's OG DC, like, stop messing around. Thank you for the food. It's Flow Girl, everybody. She left though. You missed your opportunity to make her dance. Am I up? Or are you up?
Yeah, you're up.
Sam Raimi, the director of the only good Spider-Man films, they really are so much better than all of the other Spider-Man films, with the exception of one. Spider-Verse, the animated series,
it's pretty good.
Is awesome.
I like the first one. The second one lost me, I think, a bit. Yeah. It kind of just ended up being like an overly stuffed setup for another movie that is now like 3 years late, you know?
That's true. That's true. It has so much heart in it, though. You can tell, like, and the style, like, really does carry it, in my opinion.
I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff about that second, but that first one to me was just more like streamlined and efficient. You know? Yeah.
That's the issue with most superhero films, is like you got to make them bigger and crazier the next time you do it. And
exactly.
You know, at that point.
So, Sam Raimi wants to make a Shadow movie. He writes a script for it.
No way.
Is trying to do it for a couple years in the late 80s. He makes his movie right after The Evil Dead. I feel like not a lot of people have seen it, but it's called Crime Wave.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, but it is kind of like a very sort of like goofy noir take. Right, it's way more of like a farce than anything else, but it's like...
Well, his films in general, I mean, like...
I mean, he's got the comedy locked down. Yeah, absolutely. But Crime Wave does have the vibe a little bit of like, you know, of 30s, 40s pastiche, and you can kind of see him maybe like testing things out for The Shadow at that point in terms of like the look of it, you know? And then he goes on to try to make The Shadow. It doesn't really work out, right? But he really loves the idea of playing in that world of superheroes and like that sort of dark Avenger kind of character. So he goes...
Is that why they gave him Spider-Man? Is because this?
Down the line a little bit, yes. Okay, but
all right.
In between... I can't remember his like filmography now. I think it's definitely after Evil Dead 2. I think it's his next movie after that. Is called Darkman. Have you seen Darkman?
I have seen Darkman. And Darkman is very similar to The Shadow. He's got a similar hat and like...
His entire look and everything.
Oh, weird.
Darkman is Sam Raimi being like, well, I can't make The Shadow. I'm going to make this instead. Like,
you are boring.
Because I want to play around in that world.
Darkman was based on the comic.
It was an
original Sam Raimi.
Original Sam Raimi creation. Yeah. So
he made like Bizarro Shadow.
Yes. And if people have not seen Darkman, I highly recommend it. It's a really, really fun movie. God damn it.
I wouldn't say it's good, but fun is a good descriptor.
It's a little rough around the edges. It's kind of funny. Like last time I watched it, I realized like I showed it to Sarah, who liked it. She was into it. But I was kind of realizing when I was watching it, I'm like, the Evil Dead movies feel more polished than Darkman does. But I think it's because they're such a small, they're a much smaller scale. Darkman has big locations and huge action set pieces.
But it also kind of feels like a student film at the
yes,
same time.
It does. It absolutely does. He's still a little green. I think he's just more comfortable working with smaller crews and everything. Same. He may have had a pass at the Time Cop.
No way, Bluegrass.
But I
That
don't
can't
think-
be true.
I mean, he didn't direct it.
I love Time Cop.
Time Cop is crazy. Oh my god, I love Time Cop too. One of the better DC movies.
I'm surprised that Time Cop never got a 90s pin.
They should have gotten one.
Right? Like Demo Man got one,
Yeah.
you know? Like Johnny Mnemonic. How did Johnny Mnemonic get a pin, but Time Cop did?
JCVD doesn't have any pins, right?
I don't think so. Chat, does Jean-Claude Van Damme have a pin? We gotta look up, we gotta fact check this fucking Time Cop Sam Raimi scenario.
There really should be a hard target pinball machine. That's my vote for a JCVD pin.
That would be the one?
Yeah.
That's your choice?
Hard Target is an incredible
Damn it.
movie.
Can
Yeah.
I pull your attention up here?
Yeah.
It dawns on me that the upper playfield up here, just above those targets, you can't really quite see it. It looks like, those look like dongs. Right? Those look like little tiny dongs, right? Little penises. Come here, look over here. Look at the little tiny penises.
Right above, the targets?
It's like on the black part, like the little yellow lines. It's like a sack with a little micro dick hanging down. You see it, right?
Oh, those.
Those are dongs. That looks like a dong.
You're totally right. Like surrounding the blinking lights. Yeah.
Correct. It's like It's like a circle of dongs.
The top ones especially.
For
the
sure.
side one's a little less.
But that middle one up top, like that's a
And
penis.
it starts to look like they start like chubbing up. Actually, do you see that? Because
Yeah.
it's like,
Did you just say chubbing up?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
because like the middle part gets extended further down.
Let's try to get in there down here. I'm sorry, but I was not expecting. Oh, come on, phone. Stop it. I don't care about the weather. I don't care that the weather is unavailable right now. Let me back in my phone. Please stop this madness. I don't care about the camera or the, god damn it. Get me back in here. There we go. Can we go on a dong adventure?
Let's do it.
God. All right. I don't know what. There we go. All right. Here we go. Like,
Wow.
that's a dong, right?
But then look at the one that gets there's one that's like semi-flaccid if you go further down.
Further down. Which
Yeah,
direction?
left down that like column. That one right there, the bottom. See?
Oh yeah. Look, it's even got like a head on it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It starts to chub up.
It's chubbing. You're right.
Yeah.
It's chubbing. Dude.
What the hell? What's going on?
Hey man,
here?
unexpected dongs. You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need an unexpected dong. Damn it, camera.
I bet this was Ed Boon's doing. This feels like something he would do.
Wait, hold on. We got to find out. I forget who the artist is on this. In there.
It is. Is it Dan Forden who did the sound for this?
Yes. I
Yeah.
believe so. Or no, Eric? No, wait, no. You're right. It's Dan.
Yeah.
Because he reused a lot of these assets for Medieval Madness and Attack from Mars, I believe.
Interesting.
Which I think someone pointed out, even the music for the Wizard mode is like one of the mode musics for
Wow.
Medieval. So,
And if people don't know Dan Forden, he's the toasty guy from Mortal Kombat. Because he also did the sound for Mortal Kombat.
right. Ed Boon being one of the programmers on this.
Yeah.
There was a lot of crossover between this era of Bally Williams with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Steve Ritchie himself is the voice of Fatality and
Yeah.
Shao Kahn, I believe.
Yep.
I apologize. I feel like some of the dongness of that might have interrupted your flow.
No. I mean, it was true. I was staring at them constantly while as I played just now.
Well, you found the girthy one,
I did. Yeah.
which I appreciate.
A shadow knows.
Yeah, Doug, that's just kind of how it is around here. Okay, so back to the shadow. By the way, we are gonna have to wrap around 3:15, so we got a good 20 to 40 minutes.
I mean, we're basically near the end of the Shadow's relevancy anyway with the movie.
How dare you say that?
I mean, it's true. Nobody gives a shit about this movie.
Yeah, no, that's definitely
Literally the best. Okay, I said earlier the best Shadow thing was that one scene at the Beam of Light. The best Shadow thing is this fucking pinball machine. This is the best thing that the Shadow's ever had his name on. Like,
Don't disagree with that.
I know there's people out there that are gonna be mad at me. I don't know if they're watching this stream right now because we're all, pinball freaks.
Do you think there's got to be like a super fan subculture of the Shadow film
there has to be.
on Reddit?
I feel like I have listened to a podcast that that has talked about the Shadow like pretty positively. But yeah, not me though. So like, yeah, we're right there. So like, Sam Raimi can't the Shadow, so it's Darkman instead. Darkman is a much better film. Liam Neeson is insane in it.
We don't know what Sam Raimi's Shadow would have been like.
Well, I mean, like, but his Darkman is better than this movie.
Okay.
His Shadow probably would have been awesome. And apparently even a few, like early 2010s, he was maybe close to doing it again, actually. It's something he's tried to come back to.
Really?
Yeah, because he's a huge Shadow guy. He's just a huge fan of the Shadow. So, like, but to kind of talk about why it eventually does get made and why the movie is like the way it is because of Batman 1989. It's so funny that is, he is ripped off of the Shadow.
They're like, well, Tim Burton can make a dark one, then we can make a dark Shadow, right?
Yeah, but Tim Burton's Batman really sets like the template for superhero movies of the 90s.
Okay.
And then throughout the 90s, obviously there's Batman movies throughout the 90s that all do well, right? Except for Batman and Robin, which I think even like did good, but it obviously people hated it. But
you're talking about the neon pink one by
yeah, the George Clooney. Yeah, exactly. And speaking of like the Mask too, you have like not only is the Mask, only exist because of Batman. They adapted the Mask comic because of Batman, but then Jim Carrey becomes the Riddler. Like, it all ties together.
It does seem like this like weird incestuous circle between Orson Welles' Ace Ventura and, the Shadow.
Orson Welles' Ace Ventura. I'm trying to think of, somebody stop me.
Somebody stop me. Yeah, how did Waterworld get a pinball machine? But Timecop didn't. Like, dang it.
God, I love that lock, that magnet. It is so cool.
Yeah, unfortunately though, and like I said, in this current ROM that I have, which is the most recent one, it's got some bugs. No, Joe, you're not wrong. Waterworld is not a good pinball machine.
Not a good movie either.
No. You know what should have gotten a pinball machine? Speaking of Kevin Costner films, The Postman.
Oh my God, yeah.
How you doing?
They could have had Tom Petty do a voice on it.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help but notice that you laughed at the idea of The Postman getting a movie.
Laughed out of, like joyful exuberance because I totally agree.
Can you imagine, like, Deliver the Mail multi-ball?
Yeah.
Like, it's...
And it's set to Tom Petty's Free Fallin'.
Yes.
Tom Petty plays himself in The Postman.
For those of you that are watching and do not know what The Postman about Kevin Costner is or what it is about, Greg, can you just in like one sentence explain what The Postman is about?
Sure. Postman, it's an adaptation of a book that I actually hear is pretty good. But it is a post-apocalyptic future, I believe nuclear, but you have like roving gangs of like bandits terrorizing the common folk and all this stuff, right? Very Mad Max style. And there's one postman, like a U.S. postal worker that is still alive and delivering the mail because, neither sleet or rain or snow or nuclear fallout will stop the mail from being delivered.
And he gives like the speech, like St. Crispin's Day speech for the mail.
Yeah, and Tom Petty is in the movie as a survivor of the apocalypse as himself, like, he's playing musician Tom Petty. It's genius.
Look, if the apocalypse happens, like you want to have Tom Petty.
Yeah,
around.
well, you want Tom Petty.
You need
a
Tom Petty.
Yeah. That was a sign that we, are not going to make it as a species, that he like passed away. And
yeah,
so
as
now
soon
with
as Tom
nuclear
Petty's
apocalypse
gone, we're fucked.
He's not going to be there to shepherd us through to safety.
I would have to agree.
Yeah. Okay.
You wanna have Tom Petty. Yeah, well, you want Tom Petty. You need Tom Petty, yeah. That was a sign.
I just noticed that N Clear Black says maybe it's good we never got a machine for Steven Seagal. I had to agree. Yeah.
Yes, that man is not.
Yeah.
He's not aged well.
I think Under Siege could make for a pretty good pinball machine, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even Under Siege 2.
Oh, yeah. Dark Territory? Hell yeah.
It's Under Siege on a train.
Yeah.
Boats are so like 94 or 95.
They really are.
Like,
yeah.
Trains, man. Fucking trains. How do they even work?
Yeah,
I don't know.
The director of Under Siege, Andrew Davis, He's a guy that should have some pinball machines. He made The Fugitive.
Oh, sweet. That's a
fucking
great film.
Pinball machine would be awesome.
Also underrated before that, the Amish detective one.
Oh, Witness.
Witness, yeah. Witness is fantastic.
Yeah. Willie Nelson would survive it over Tom Petty. That's right.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Any ideas? I don't remember. How did we get to The Postman?
No, that's my bad.
No, it's okay.
Somehow we ended up talking about Kevin Costner. Oh, Waterworld. We're talking about films in the 90s that should have been made.
Right.
Into pinball machines.
Joe says Next Gen started as Under Siege Pinball.
Oh, is that true?
Awesome.
Oh, God. I believe that, man.
That's really cool.
Ow, can you imagine a world that doesn't have the Star Trek TNG Steve Ritchie pinball machine, but
That's
instead it's
crazy.
Under Siege? Bro. Do you have any proof of that, Joe? You are not a person to lie. I do believe you. Electric Boogaloo. Jesus Christ.
It's so funny.
The Amish detective. Yeah, I would totally.
Mongol attack.
The Witness is really good. I highly recommend it. It's about what you call it? What's his face? Harrison Ford is like investigating a crime and ends up like kind of laying low in an Amish town to try to like make it to the court date or whatever to like get people in trouble, and I don't know, big business gets involved and tries to like snuff them out.
Dude, Air Force One could be a great pinball machine.
Air Force One would be an excellent one.
Yeah. I mean, Blade Runner.
I don't know what you're talking about. Blade Runner would be an amazing pinball machine. What's up, Colin? Yeah, dude. Excellent meeting you too. To wear to your Mother's Day? Hell yeah, dude. Cult of Pinball makes sense for Mother's Day. Get your mom a Cult of Pinball shirt. Moms love triangles. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. It's a known fact about moms.
Okay. So now that we've been derailed on what games should be made in the 90s for pinball machines.
Shadow movie.
Shadow.
We're there.
So Sam
finally.
Raimi
We're
is
there.
obsessed with the Shadow.
Yes.
He tries to make a Shadow film. He's still trying to in 2010.
Right.
But we're back to 90.
What does get made is The Shadow in 1994. It's directed by Russell Mulcahy.
What else is he known for? Because I haven't looked at.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Okay. No. I mean, it's mostly good.
Oh, okay.
His very first movie is a movie that you can go back into January and check out the episode I did on it. But for the weekly podcast,
it's a horror film then.
He makes a movie called Razorback, which Russell Mulcahy's an Australian gentleman, and he is making an Australian horror film in Australia. And he decides for his very first horror movie to do a Jaws ripoff, but with a giant pig.
What?
Yes.
Did you say giant pig?
Yeah, a giant razorback boar. Yeah.
Awesome.
And it's fucking awesome. It's a great movie. It's really, really good.
Really?
Yes. He's like super young when he makes it too, like urban genius or something.
Does it have similar style? Thank you, Stitch. Does it have similar style to?
In terms of like, there's just kind of some audacious like directing. Yeah, I would say. He's kind of like, he kind of fits into like the MTV director generation a little bit.
Okay.
Where it's very heavily stylized, kind of like a what do you call it? A focus on like, you know, visuals telling the story through music and stuff like, you know, through like montage and music and shit like that.
Right.
Ridley Scott is kind of one of those MTV guys a little bit, you know.
Okay. I'll take that. We have a 15-minute timer.
Let's do it.
To let you know. So let's squeeze all that into that 15 minutes.
Sure.
And Joe, to answer your question, yes, I did get to the duck mode 2 episodes ago, I believe. There's the secret mode in the game.
Duck mode?
Yeah, I'll have to find the clip of it, but I'll talk about how to get to it when you're done. So okay, so he did an excellent horror film with a pig.
His second movie after Razorback is Highlander.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Which, by the way, where's our Highlander machine?
Excellent question.
So yes, that's his second movie. And Highlander is great. I haven't seen it in many years, but I really liked it.
I'm sure
when
it
I did
doesn't
see
hold up, but yeah.
I think it's stupid, but it's really fun. And he does a lot of cool shit with it. And you kind of like, you can see what I mean by like the music video stuff, because like it is just like Queen music video for part of that movie.
Absolutely. Like it literally is a Queen music video for part of it.
A literal Queen music video.
Yeah.
Highlander 2 is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't watch Highlander 2 right now if someone put it on.
I mean, it's not the first time they made a cash-in follow-up.
So, I mean, he gets really fucked over for Highlander 2. But he does start doing just like a lot of like smaller action films after that. He does this one called Ricochet with Denzel Washington.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
In the early 90s. That movie is fucking awesome. Ricochet is a really, really cool action film.
Denzel Washington is an excellent action star. Nice. What is it? Not Imposter. What's the recent series? They just did a third one.
Equalizer.
Equalizer's fantastic.
Yeah. I have not seen those yet. I should check this out.
1 and 2 are really good. I mean, 3's okay too, but he's just getting a little old, so it's hard for him to be, an action star.
Right. Oh, and Clear Black brought up Shakma, the Killer Baboon movie.
Nice.
That one, way worse than Razorback is genuinely like a good film. Even though it's just like Jaws with the pig. I mean, they like actually did put effort into it. And it's very Mad Max, just in a way it's like out in the, Australian outback and like kind of has a lot of the same feel to it as like a Mad Max film. Because they're contemporaries, honestly, Miller and Mulcahy. So Mulcahy does a lot. He literally does a lot of other music videos. Like he shot him for Madonna, I think, and like a bunch of other, really popular musicians. But he does Ricochet in the 90s. Then he gets The Shadow, and it's one of the worst movies I've seen from him. He kind of falls off around this point, unfortunately, Russell Mulcahy. Like he did this movie in the late 90s I think it's called Resurrected, I think. But it's Christopher Lambert from,
Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
He's French?
Yeah, he's French.
Oh, shit, man.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for calling him Lambert forever.
But it's a ripoff of David Fincher's Seven, where it's like he's a detective trying to find a serial killer. But this serial killer is doing all these religious killings, like in Seven, but he's taking body parts from his victims and trying to sew them into a new body for Jesus Christ.
Wow, that sounds awesome. It's like Frankenstein, but for Jesus?
Yes, but unfortunately, it's not a very good movie. I mean, it's kind of ridiculously fun in a way, but...
No!
Yeah. Dead of Winter, 20... I have heard of it. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, I know of Dead of Winter. Yeah.
10 minutes.
10 minutes! So Russ Mulcahy also directed the third Resident Evil movie, Resident Evil Extinction, which is horrible.
That's the one where they're out in the sand and desert or whatever.
In Las Vegas,
that movie's unwatchably bad.
It's really, really bad. Same director as The Shadow.
Okay.
Who I swear to God is a good director at times. Like, he's made some really fun movies. So, yeah, everyone should see Razorback. It's excellent. Whoa.
Also, how many movies do you get to watch that have a pig as the star?
I think, let's see, Babe 2, Razorback.
Okay. Yeah. Good point. I'm not horror films, but you're right.
Are there any other pig horror films? There's got to be at least one other one, I think.
By the way, Babe 2, directed by the same director that did
George
Mad Max.
Also Australian, yeah. Those Australian guys on the pigs.
They know what they're doing.
That's right. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so that's where sort of like the Shadow fits into all that. I'm going to talk about the movie itself. Like, it's bad, but it's also not like but Pig's not a horror movie. Also, the pig. Spoiler alert: the pig is not around in Pig that much. Double flip. So
probably shouldn't call it Pig then.
Oh no, I mean
the
it makes sense.
Writing in Shadows is maybe the biggest offense.
Yeah.
Like it's really bad.
It's horrible writing. It's like just. This just doesn't really have much of a personality to it.
Yeah, it's a very, very bland film.
Yeah, there's even times when, like, I don't know, the villain is fun. Like I said, I think his name is like, it's like John Lone or something. It's, I don't know if I'm even saying his name right, but like, I think that he's having a great time. Tim Curry's having a great time. Alec Baldwin, I think, I'm going to chalk it up to like the direction for him. Because I think he can do like the rich playboy.
Oh, I don't think Alec Baldwin's a bad actor at all.
Right.
It reeks of a bad script and bad direction.
Yeah.
But same for Ian McKellen. Like his character is
what is he doing?
He's just a mumble. You barely hear any of his lines. He's just mumbling bullshit. And
he's got a couple of funny moments. Like I do like the whole red-green thing at the very end.
Yeah.
Like that's a good way. That's a good payoff for that bit. but like the police commissioner is just there to again mumble for 2 scenes and then he's gone.
Yeah.
There are some like music video-y segments to it though, where I kind of like the visuals. Like when he first enters the club and it's like that lady on stage singing that song, I'm like, that has a really nice vibe to it. I think the blues like are really vibrant in that scene. I think there's times where it looks really cool. It's like so clearly all shot in backlots. Because, you know, there's a lot of matte paintings of New York and shit, but it creates a nice like pulp vibe, you know, but then it just forgets to actually have any kind of fun going on. Like it's
weak visual effects too.
Yeah. Oh god, dude, the CGI.
Oh, it's bad.
Ooh. So this knife thing.
Furba, yeah.
The Furba. Which
Is it Furba?
Furba. I love saying Furba. Yeah. But that thing is like a living creature of some sort that is horrible CGI with little like shark teeth that bites Alec Baldwin's hand at one point and then it flies around and ends up stabbing Khan in the gut.
It becomes like the most important element in the film.
Yeah, and what the hell is its deal? Like the monk
It chooses when you can control it.
I guess. Yeah. It's really baffling. I also find the ending really dark where it's like our hero lobotomized the villain. And I'm like, oh, well, okay.
Yeah, he's in
nice
he's
heroics.
in a sanitarium and he tries to use his powers to like get out and can't. And then like the doctor, it is kind of a funny moment because the doctor like kind of pretends that he's like under control and then he's like, just kidding, I lobotomized you, and like walks out.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, look, I don't have a problem with the Shadow like lobotomizing a bad guy because he's kind of supposed to be an anti-hero, right? But it just doesn't like feel like it has the right tone for that.
He also supposedly is supposed to have a character arc of redemption.
Right.
And like falling in love with Margot is supposed to be like, you know, him finding a humanity after he's been just like this cold-hearted.
He's supposed to still have guilt from his time as a opium warlord.
runner, yeah.
Like, again, and how did he get there? Like, that is so baffling. I did find out a really cool thing about the character in print that I really like. But like I said, his identity was shrouded in a lot of mystery for a long time, and the whole like, I keep forgetting his last. It's like Lamont, not Lamont Claremont, but it's something like that.
It's something like that. He's got a cool name.
Yeah, it's a fun name.
You know?
Yeah, but he is so the Shadow, like the real guy, the Shadow in the print thing, and Lamont are 2 different people in reality. Like, but the Shadow with his like hypnosis powers and the fact that he already Lamont Cranston. That's
Cranston.
Right.
Never mind. The last name, not Cranston. If anybody watching this is named Cranston, I apologize. But just as a superhero, like undercover name, Cranston.
So in the print book, like he's only impersonating Cranston, and Cranston is like being blackmailed to just kind of like go and live elsewhere and like travel the world and do other things.
Interesting.
While the Shadow lives as Cranston as his undercover.
Okay, so what's the Shadow's real name then?
It's like, I did write it down in my notes. I don't remember.
Oh, interesting.
But apparently he does this with a lot of other people. He's got several identities. Like he regularly kind of like lives as in order to throw people off his scent.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, oh, even if you discover who the Shadow is, like that's just one of his lives he's living.
Yeah.
What the fuck Kent Allard is like revealed to be his real name, apparently.
That's not a great name either.
I kind of like it. Kent Allard. It's cool. Yeah. But I really like that. And it's also like his real appearance is never in the print thing. No one's ever, it's kind of like the Phantomos thing. It's like no one's ever actually seen the Shadow's real face, you know, like that's kind of cool. But, for Lamont from Sanford and Son, I also saw somebody say, they referenced, what was that, another movie. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good movie. But anyway, Resident Evil being the second one being the best. Hell no. It's the 4th one. It's the 5th one. Whichever one has Leon and Barry in it. That's the best Resident Evil film. I think Retribution.
God, I forgot that they made so many.
Yeah.
They Resident Evil. And they really went down the pipeline of weird, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever, the monsters that are like present in the series.
Yeah.
But like the giant goofy ones with like trench coats and hats and shit like that.
Yeah. Which I've been playing Resident Evil 9 and it's great.
Nice.
It's been fantastic. I'm almost done with it, I think. But yeah.
All right, we should wrap up. Greg, a huge thank you again for taking the time to both look into such a bizarre
piece of pop culture history. Yeah. Thanks for, I really appreciate it. It's really interesting to find this stuff out and learn how stupidly racist the Shadow is just as a concept, apparently. Like, I did not expect that when I started this whole project, you know?
I thought we would be talking about bigger noses more. I'm sad that the large nose thing is like a cinema moment, not part of his character.
Right.
Do you want to? What's the theme for your month? Because every month you do a new theme
It's a
for
whole new
the Cinema
theme.
Massacre weekly podcast. Right? I'm gonna get it right one of these years.
The weekly podcast massacre all May long. It's Mailin Invasion 2. We've done this before. Oh, it's Mailin Invasion 2 Resurgence.
So you said Malian?
Mailin Invasion.
It's not alien, but it's Malian.
Yeah, because it's May.
Hey, little one.
Hello.
What's up?
Red, orange, yellow.
Who gave you sour
blue,
Skittles?
Purple.
Yum. I'm gonna come steal those in a second.
No.
Oh, all right, fine. You heard her. No.
She just wanted to show off that
I'll
she
be in
had
in
different
just a
colors.
minute.
Game time.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You heard her. She said it's game time.
It is game time. Yeah.
Anyways,
Mailin Invasion 2. We started the month strong. We covered Dreamcatcher from Stephen King, which is an insane movie. But I also listened to the audiobook for that, and I go really deep. I just finished editing that, so that'll be coming out Thursday.
Okay, cool.
And then, then we're talking about Invasion of the Body Snatchers. One of them. There's been several. And then whatever. I can spoil what we're talking about. Then we're talking about Under the Skin. The the Scarlett Johansson movie.
Nice.
So really fun month full of aliens and stuff going on.
That sounds great.
I'm thinking I'm going to do a Martian film at the very end, and I'll probably talk a lot about Attack from Mars on that episode because I can't help myself. So if you want pinball talk,
there you go.
I'll be torturing my co-host with that at the end of the month.
Pinball talk.
Yeah.
Joe, the buzz is when it's not playing. There's like, I don't know. Pin Sound has a not a ground thing, but it just buzzes for some reason. I also have compressors and stuff that bring up the levels, so I'm sure that is also aggravating it. But in any event, very cool. We should finish this game. We're on ball 2, and then we'll call it.
All right.
Is it me or you?
I think it's you.
Oh, shit. Well, let's do it. I guess I would say go watch The Shadow.
I don't think it's like unwatchable.
No, it's just bad.
Yeah, it's too long and it's kind of dull.
Uninspired, I would think is what I would refer or call it.
Yes, but I do think there are some great visuals here and there. You know, aside from like the CGI and stuff.
Well, even the opening scene's kind of shit though. Like it's supposed to be this like bridge combat scene where the Shadow takes down a bunch of people because he's invisible to show off his powers, and it's just like dumb.
Yeah, I mean,
dumb and bad.
Wolfman, I agree. Drinks are needed.
Whoops.
You should get a couple drinks and then, I don't know, take a drink anytime the nose looks too big to you.
That's true. Every time his nose gets big. Well, they also do that film noir thing where they highlight his eyes. Like,
yes, I kind of like that.
Yeah, I like that too. When he uses his power, there's a great scene where he's like leaving the club with Margot, and he's like, she knows something that she shouldn't, and he basically tells her to like go away using his shadow power, and she's just like, "What? No,
what are you doing?
Like, why are you creeping on me? You know, it's pretty great."
Yeah.
Blood Greg says that the pin does the movie justice.
Yes.
It definitely does. As Greg said, this is the best form of the Shadow. Uh-oh, this old lady's here. This old lady's here. Do you want to play the last ball? Ow! This is our last ball. Ryder, you want to play it? No. Yes? I can't tell.
Oh, here she comes.
Come on, get in. Yeah.
All right.
Look, no hands. You got this. Oh. Well, on the plus side, it's time to play now. That's right. DJR, thank you for the gift sub, my dude. I appreciate it. Wolfman, good to see you. Definitely not enough beer to be able to drink all of the necessary needs to make it through the Shadow. You know what I'm saying? All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We're going to go do the thing that we do, you know? It's time to raid. I will be back probably with maybe one episode more of The Shadow, I think, and then it's time to put it out to greener pastures and get probably some Lord of the Rings in here. I still need to fix my Indiana Jones because the Path of Adventure bridge is acting up still. So I got to bring in the big guns in. We need an oscilloscope to figure it out, which is frustrating because I've been replacing boards left and right to try to get rid of it. Yeah, Lord of the Rings will probably be coming in next. And as you know, Carl will be here to help me get my ass to Valinor. All right, stick around, everybody. All praise the Great Pyramid. Say goodbye, Greg.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, you're right. You got to pyramid it up over here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pinball Nerds. All praise the Great Pyramid.
The Greg knows.
The Greg knows. Got good noses.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Does your life lack purpose? Have you wondered if there's anything more? Join the cult of Pinball. The Great Pyramid accepts all into the cult of the Great Order. I am Dr. Cornelius Biggostein, imperturber and acolyte of the Great Pyramid.
Join us on an ever-ending quest
To spread the joy of pinball.